So hey guys, it's good to be back. Been in the States solid for pretty much 6 months, barring that 17-day challenge I did, which you had delivered to you guys all spaced out over this last 6 months. So sorry about that. Finally managed to have a little holiday with the family. Took my wife and son out to Florida. My son went Disney World, and I've sat on my arse for 2 weeks, so I haven't trained for 2 weeks, so I feel like crap. Daughter stayed at home because she wants to keep 100% school attendance, which is fair enough, you know, sad about that, but fair enough. So, we're back in the UK. It's Monday today, legs. We're going to be going through the motions. Now, because I haven't trained for a few weeks, I'm going to try and get each leg to fire individually, and the way we do that is, when we're doing the squats, I'm going to specifically make sure both arse cheeks are tensed, both legs are tensed, nice and slow and controlled, bring it up and down, make sure both legs are firing. It's very easy over time for guys when they're training legs to favour a leg. So when you're squatting, when you're leg pressing, you won't realise you're doing it, but you will be doing it, trust me, and you'll be pushing more with your left or your right. And the only way to sort of really find that out is they have pressure plates. They usually have them at like universities, like sports universities, like Staffordshire University just down the road has got the pressure plates. So you do a squat on a plate and it'll tell you which weight you're putting more, which leg you're putting more weight on. And even when I was at my strongest, I would always favour my left leg, even though I was right-handed, i.e. right-footed. So it's important to make sure all your muscles are firing, so we're going to concentrate on that today, do a lot of single leg stuff, try and build some leg power back up. I am Wembley is Friday, so we've got Giants Live Wembley. The world deadlift champs, we've got the 501 kilo, sorry, being attempted on Saturday, and then Sunday morning at 7 AM I fly back out to LA to do a promotion for the History Channel. So I'm gonna go take a crap and then we'll get stuck in. Nothing important, that's just my seat. Most important thing in the gym is a good seat to rest in between sets.
What's this bar for?
Right, we're using this bar today. Which basically helps you correct your squat. So because I haven't squatted for a few weeks, this keeps everything in line, stops you leaning forward too much or backward too much. It just keeps everything from A to B. Neutral grip, so it's not too much stretch on the shoulders or chest. And for what I'm doing today, just concentrating on the slow movement, making sure both sides are activating, really tensing the arse cheeks, tensing the quads on the way down. I'm doing this all the time. You won't see it on the camera, but I'm all the time I'm making sure my legs are firing, throwing the weight from leg to leg, and then exploding back up. And the sort of theory is, if you go slow on the way down, making sure both sides are firing, they'll both be firing on the way back up. And it's probably my advice to you guys, probably I'd say every 6 weeks you want to be doing stuff like this, just to make sure that both legs are firing the same on your squats, on your leg press, on your leg extensions. Do them all individually, probably every 6 weeks, just to make sure everything's sort of firing. It's quite common for strongmen, powerlifters to get trapped nerves in the lower back and the hips, and you won't notice it, but it'll be little bits of muscle. You'll trap a nerve and probably, I don't know, 10% of the muscle in that leg could disintegrate. You know, you get muscle atrophy, and you won't even know you've done it. So very important to keep these muscles firing, making sure they're coming back to life all the time, keep using them. So I can see, I can feel from this that my body's wanting to favour my left side. and I know it's because of my hip injury I did a couple of years back. My body always wants to put all the weight onto my left leg, and it'll, in the mirror, by eye, it'll look like I'm fine, but I'll just be an inch to this way. And I won't even know I'm doing it, but all the power will be on this left leg. So what I'm doing today is, and I can feel it happening, is making sure I'm central, and making sure this leg's firing, so I'm tensing this leg hard as well, and then it gets that upward motion activated. I'm just going to work up to a weight until it starts getting tough. I mean, before I even had the break, I was doing sort of 6 plates a side, about 260 kilo. So if I can get up to something around that range, I'll be pretty happy today. I haven't squatted for a few weeks. And obviously everything's out of sync. I think that's the main reason that you know what, you can not bench for a few weeks, come back in, bench the same. Pretty much most exercises you can leave for a few weeks, come back in and just pick it up where you left off. But squats is one of the ones that just fades very, very fast. And I think it's a lot to do with firing the muscle fibers. You know, your legs go to sleep almost, because your legs all day, every day, are just used to walking, aren't they? You know, just your own body weight. And they acclimatise to that very, very quickly. And all those extra fibers that you've got on there shut down. They're not needed. So unless you're squatting every single week, those muscles will very fastly disappear. It's tough when you're trying to slow everything down and make sure everything's firing. Other things relax. Find yourself pushing forward and backward. I would say it's quite a bit harder than a regular bar, not because of what it is, it's just because you're not used to it. If you train with this bar constantly and learned how to balance the weight, get it in a certain position, get your back in a certain position, I think it would actually be an easier bar to squat with. But it's something you just use now and again. It's one of these bars that puts the center of gravity more direct, more sort of A to B, but also that swing throws you off as well. So it swings around about. So if you can get used to it, it's a more sturdy bar, it's an easier bar to squat with. If you're not used to it, it's a bar that will purposely make everything activate, all the core muscles in the legs, the back, the quads, the glutes, makes everything activate. So that's why I'm using it today, really, to make everything activate again, because I haven't squatted for the best part of a month. That'll do for squats. Not super heavy at all, just two, bit of this bar, 230 for 5. Honestly, the way I'm feeling, having not squatted for a month, just got back from Florida yesterday, so still very, very dehydrated from the flight. And that's when injuries happen. When you're dehydrated, your muscles are dried out, tired, things ping off, things rip. So I'm listening to my body. Move on to leg press now. We'll do some double leg press, do some single leg press, and again, trying to get everything firing back up. So I very kindly signed t-shirts for Strength for Silent to send out to the fans. Somebody's asked for one to say, sore today, strong tomorrow. Okay. How do you spell sore? There we go. Would you spell sore? S-O-R-E?
Yeah.
Yeah? They are, even added sweat, free of charge that is. Free of charge. Which means it's genuine. Again, just going to work away up the ladder, make sure each leg is firing individually, so I don't want any weaknesses. I don't want to come back into my training regime of one leg stronger than the other, especially we're having a month off, so this is getting everything firing again. So what I'm doing here on the leg press, I'm doing double leg to get them both firing, and then I'm doing 6 reps on single leg with one foot just lower down. And that's more, it's more of a precaution for your spine. If you leave one leg up and one leg on the floor, it can really twist your back. So it's always good to have the other leg, just your toes on, just guiding it. And what it does is just keep your back in place so nothing twists. And when you're doing the single leg stuff, you will really feel the sort of glutes and the quads and the outside muscles working, because they're trying to stabilize the whole lot. You haven't got the other leg to sort of work off. So this is a great way of sort of, if you've had a few weeks off the gym, probably every 6 weeks, 7 weeks, do this, and it just makes sure everything's firing, and if it's not, it will bring it back to life. I'm not joking, you know. I can feel blood rushing down the side of my quad here. And that's because this hasn't been activating so much, because obviously I'm favouring this leg all the time, so that I can feel this leg waking up. It's amazing what a little bit of sort of single movements can do. You know, you want to try it on bench press sometime, dumbbells, one arm down, even with a bar, doing this with a bar. Just wake everything up, get these muscles firing again. Right, we've worked the muscles up now, so what I'll do is we'll go back, switch back to double leg, and we'll build up the weight. Basically rip the muscle fibers. Didn't go too heavy on the squats, basically because I didn't feel too comfortable. But with the leg press, you're fixed, it's safe. So we'll pile the weight on now, rip the muscles, and get a good workout in.
1 hour later.
He's only bought the ladders because he's fucking wasting money on the wages. No other reason. Hey? He's like, that fucking bastard's up there skiving. Let's start it. I think I'm debating whether to go for a shit before I do a heavy leg press.
In my experience, if you have to debate it, then you should go for it.
Yeah, but in my experience, in these circumstances, because you're pushing hard anyway, so it's like turtle heading. And it feels like you need a big shit, but then when you actually go for one, you just drop a tiny little Malteser, and then it takes about 200 wipes to clean your arsehole, and you come back out with like a red, raw, stinging asshole, and you still need a shit. So, it's not worth it.
Yeah, most of the time I spend on the toilet's just wiping. You never quite get the troublemaker, do you?
No. I'll shit myself.
Told you.
Two hours later.
That was a wild one.
How many wipes?
2, not bad. Right.
Some of the best days of my life are when you go for a shit and get a ghost poo.
When you go for a shit and have a ghost poo?
Yeah.
What, as in like it goes to the back of the toilet and disappears?
No, it's when you wipe and there's nothing there, it's like you never had a shit.
Oh, they're the best. They are the best. Hamstrings just as important as the quads. So, what I'm doing is making sure my feet are as wide on the pad as possible, so I can feel each one working individually. The up, I'm trying to get both to work as hard and explosive as they can, and then on the down, I'm always favouring one on the down. So I'll use my right leg to control one down, up, use my left leg to control one down, up, and that way each leg is getting activated individually, but on the up, they're both getting the same amount of resistance.
So I live in Connecticut, but...
Oh, you do? So you're over from the States, are you?
Yeah. Didn't think I'd actually fucking jump into it. Wicked, thanks a lot,
bro.
Appreciate it.
Alright, man. Cheers. 2 working sets now, full rack. So I've done each leg individually for 4 warm-up sets, and now what I'm going to do is nice and slow down using both legs, making sure they're both firing the same amount, which is easy to do on the down because you can just control each leg individually and just work it down and then explode them both back up. Jesus Christ. Right, hammy's done. It's just some leg extensions now. Doing the single leg stuff, again, just making sure each side's firing equally. It feels quite good now. I've done a lot of single leg exercises. woke everything up, and this is the test really. So you do the same weight each leg, and you can really feel if getting towards the 10 reps, if one's feeling a lot harder than the other, then you know that the strength and balance is varied, and you've got an issue. This feels pretty equal, which tells me I've done a good job of waking up the muscles, keeping everything acting, firing up. So we'll do a few sets single legs, and then again we'll switch to double and get some good working sets in. I think I mentioned it before, but I wear these patella straps. They're called patella supports. Basically, if anyone ever suffers with knee pain, especially people in strongman that push press, squat, yoke, and they get a lot of pain behind the knee, and you're literally to the point where you're walking, you can't press, you can't pick up a yoke. It's the patella tendon, and what it is, if you don't lock the patella tendon in place, 90% of the time it flicks out, and all it has to do is flick out like that and go back in, and just that little flicking motion causes a shitload of inflammation in the knee, behind the knee, makes it extremely painful to do your workouts. And what this does, this has got a little foam insert in there that you strap around. So there's the tendon there, and what I want to do, because it always snaps outwards, what I want to do is lock it inwards. So I put the foam up against the tendon like that, and then lock it down like that. So there we go. And that keeps the patella tendon in place, stops it flicking over, and eliminates knee pain. And I used to suffer probably early 2012, 2013. The knee pain was unreal. I would do log press and axle press, and my knees would be super sore, and to the point where I couldn't pick a yoke up, I couldn't run with farmers. Bought these, and my leg pain disappeared. What I did to rectify the knee pain before I bought the supports was I started strip pressing stuff. So, and I was very renowned for that. I'd always strip press logs, strip press axle, even dumbbells would be strip press, and that's because of my knee pain. And in a way, it was bad because I probably missed out on some big PBs in my overhead stuff. And then when I think about it in another way, it taught me how to be strong in the shoulders, in the overhead, rather than concentrating on the actual pushing movement. It taught these to be strong because they had to be. I strip pressed everything, and I beat the best in the world. I didn't get the log press world record. That doesn't mean I couldn't have. I was strong enough to get it, and I would have got it stripped, and that's the difference. I got the axle press world record, 216 kilo to the chest, no legs. So it worked wonders in some way and retracted me in others. But back to the subject, these knee supports completely eliminated knee pain for me going forward in my strongman career. I've never had a knee problem since, and touch wood, I'm not going to have a knee problem.
Didn't you used to say legs were for squatting?
I did, legs are for squatting. I think, a younger Eddie Hall is very naive, very arrogant, very confident, and I would say things to piss the other athletes off, to get into their heads, and just little statements like that, tongue in cheek, but I said it as though I meant it, and it would piss the other guys off, put them in a place where, fucking hell, he can beat me with no legs, so he must be better than me, And strongman's a lot about the mind games. You can be as strong as you can be the strongest man in the world, but unless you've got that confidence and arrogance to walk into a competition and have already won it before you've even started the event, then you're never going to win it. You've got to have that confidence there, and mind games is part of that. Saying things that you shouldn't say. I remember my very first UK Strongest Man back in 2012, and I'd won England's Strongest Man 2 years in a row. And the week before UK Strongest Man, I put a status on Facebook, and I said, I cannot wait for next week when I win the UK Strongest Man. And all the other athletes started commenting and getting wound up, and I could see them like talking on forums like, oh, arrogant bastard, arrogant this, dickhead. But that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted them to go and talk about me and get irated, because I got into their heads. They'd already lost it. If they bit, they'd already lost the competition. And lo and behold, I won the UK Strongest Man. And, you know, that taught me a lesson, I think. My very first big win was mind games. And not just for the other athletes, but for yourself. You know, I said that I was going to pull 500 kilo off the floor, and I made myself believe it. I believed it in my own head before I even got close to it. I said I was going to win the World's Strongest Man, and you know, I believed it. I believed it from the day I said it. I said it when I was 19 years old. I said when I was 19, I am going to win the World's Strongest Man one day, watch this space. And I did it. Self-belief. Self-belief. But also, from me saying that at such a young age, and being that arrogant, coming into World's Strongest Man, and even saying it when I got to World's Strongest Man. I remember talking to Brian and the other guys, you know, my very first World's Strongest Man. I'm going to win this one day. I remember saying it. And let me tell you one of the biggest sort of hit me moments was when I was in Australia, 2012, and I was doing a Giants Live in Melbourne alongside Mike Jenkins, Mike Burke, Nick Best, my very first international show. That's what qualified me for World's Strongest Man 2012. And they did an interview. Mike Jenkins won Giants Live that year. And they did an interview with Mike Jenkins after. And they asked him the question, do you think you can win World's Strongest Man one day? And he said it so believably, confidently. If you don't think you can win it, then why are you even in it? And I just remember watching from the sidelines, watching that interview, and I was just like, fuck. And he said it with such confidence, and it made me believe, genuinely believe, that I could win the World's Strongest Man. But the confidence that reeked from Jenkins stuck with me for life, really did. It'll be fine.
I was going to ask you if you want that.
Yeah.
Well, grab that. So.
Yeah, it'll hit like fuck, but
Of course you will.
it'll do. Alright, go on, snippers that off. Thanks, Dave.
My pleasure.
Okay. This is the World Championship bollock lifting contest, okay? So I've got a piece of string tied around my balls, and we're going to see how much we can pick up, starting with this. How much does this weigh, Chris? Starting with this 4 kilo kettlebell, okay? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Right, I broke the floor.
Didn't lock it out.
I didn't lock it out, but it's just minced my bollocks up, I'll be honest. Really badly.
Did you go just balls or cock and balls?
No, cock and balls.
Okay, yeah.
Let's try it again. Oh! One of them slipped out. Oh, fucking hell. No, cut the camera. Cut the camera. Oh. And I think this was a big mistake. Oh my god. Oh, it's just lapped around one of my bollocks like fuck. Oh my god.
Any blood?
No blood, we're okay. We're okay. Well, week 1 of the bollock lifting championship, 4 kilo. Maybe next week we'll go for 6. Okay?
I was thinking 6.
Yeah, I was thinking 6. So my bollocks are like up here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, when you train and your bollocks go dead tight, it's like when you're at home, they're just loose and like a couple of conkers.
Did you bleed them last night as well?
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
I was too tired.
Too tired.
Yeah. Smell that.
That's lovely.
Smell your missus on there.
Which one?
Which one? All three of them. And your daughter. That's disgusting.
Jesus Christ.
How very dare you. Right guys, that's a wrap for this session. Good leg session, I'm really happy with that. Got both legs activating really well. By the end, I could feel my strength coming back, so next week should be even better, even though I'm in LA, but I will get some training in whilst I'm out in LA. I'm meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger next week for a big project I've got going on, and I'm also meeting a couple of big film producers as well, so I might have some good news this time 2 weeks from now when I'm back. The finale, the World Bollock Lifting Championships. So I've done 4 kilo, didn't work out very well. My bollocks are always all tensed up from the training session. You need nice relaxed bollocks for this, I found out. So perhaps I'll do it at the start of the session next time. But I'm putting the challenge out to Juji, Bradley Martin. Can you beat the bollock lifting champion so far? 4 kilo is the weight to beat. Bring it on. Thanks for watching guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Big love the beast. See you later.
I'm a motherfucking beast. I'm a motherfucking beast. I'm a motherfucking beast. I'm a motherfucking beast.